It happened a year ago, but the memory is as vivid as ever. With my final exams looming, I spent every evening at the school library, which had extended its hours until 11 p.m. to accommodate students. My home was a short walk from the school, so I preferred the quiet focus the library offered over the distractions of home. One cold evening, I arrived at the library around 6 p.m., settling into my usual routine of finding a quiet corner and immersing myself in my studies. Time passed quickly, and before I knew it, the clock showed 10 p.m. Usually, I would leave by 8 p.m., but tonight, I had lost track of time. The library, once filled with the comforting presence of other students, was now eerily empty. A chill crept up my spine as I realized how silent it had become. The oppressive quiet made the once familiar library feel strange and unsettling. I tried to focus on the last bit of studying I had to do, but the growing sense of dread was impossible to ignore. Something felt wrong, though I couldn't say what. Then, I heard it. A faint, dragging sound, like footsteps, coming from outside the library. My heart raced as I strained to listen. The footsteps grew louder, each step sending a wave of fear through me. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a janitor or another student. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Panic set in, and I quickly gathered my things, my hands trembling as I stuffed my notes into my bag. I had to get out of there. I headed toward the library door, the corridor beyond stretching out before me, dimly lit and eerily silent. The flickering lights cast unsettling shadows on the walls, making the corridor feel like it was alive, waiting for me. I hesitated, but there was no other way out. I began walking, my footsteps echoing in the stillness. As I moved down the corridor, I felt as though something was watching me. The shadows seemed to twist and shift, playing tricks on my mind. Then, I saw her, a woman standing at the far end of the corridor, barely visible in the dim light. She was tall and thin, her clothes dirty and tattered, and her wild, tangled hair covered most of her face. My breath caught in my throat as I realized she was staring directly at me. Frozen with fear, I watched as she began to move toward me, her steps slow and unnatural. A raspy whisper escaped her lips. "Who are you?" Her voice sent a shiver of terror down my spine. I tried to respond, but my voice was lost in the fear that gripped me. Without warning, she lunged at me. I screamed and ran, bolting down the corridor and out of the school into the cold night. I didn't stop running until I reached the street, gasping for breath. When I finally looked back, there was no one there. The street was empty, just like the library had been. I vowed never to return to that library at night again.